All right, welcome back here, SoCon Media Day here in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Jeff Goodman here with Terrence Oglesby, and now we are joined by the coach of the preseason #1 team in the conference. I was a little bit surprised. I'm not going to lie. Nothing against you, Dan Earl.
Yeah.
Nothing against the Mocs. But you lost a lot from last year's team that won the league, that won the NIT. Were you as surprised as I was when you kind of, I don't know, you don't open up a newspaper anymore, but whatever you did to find out that you were atop that preseason poll, were you shocked?
I literally just found out. And yes, we lost. We have 9 new guys. We lost all 5 starters, so I think preseason #1 and $5 get you a cup of coffee, I think, so it's
depends on where you go for the coffee.
That's true. Not anymore, but I guess it's a good thing in some ways, but with all the turnover in college basketball, I'm just hoping all our competitors lost a ton of
they did not all. So VMI still brought a lot back.
Yeah, VMI brought a lot back. Furman brought a lot back, amongst some other teams. So, but in this day and age, it's the challenge of getting everybody on the same page as quick as possible. We have 9 new guys, 4 returners. So it's a challenge for everybody that they're going through.
I just always find this curious because everybody loses their last game of the season except for 4 teams. And then you guys win your last game of the season, obviously winning the NIT. That had to make it a little sweeter going into the offseason, or was it one of those things where, well, got to get back to work, we're losing everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, how long was that celebration?
Enjoy it for a day.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of different points with that, but it was awesome for our city, for Chattanooga. The fans got on board, went out to Indianapolis. It was great to win a championship. Just to tell you the timeline, so we had Honor Huff, one of our backcourt guys, really good player, ended up transferring to West Virginia, but I tell this story, whatever time it was, midnight or so, and we're hugging each other and confetti coming down and cutting down nets and everything. And the team went back on a charter plane, which was awesome for us. But I drove with my girls, came out to see the game. I drove back, and it's like noon the next day. So literally 12 hours later, we'll go from hugging and his tears in his eyes, and 12 hours later, he's like, "Hey, Coach, I'm out on the portal." I'm like, "You couldn't give me more than 12 hours?" But we knew it was coming, and that's this day and age. And Honor's a wonderful young man, so thrilled for him. But
you've had him for a while now, Coach.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
That's right. He didn't leave after a year.
Well, and by the way, but he was at VMI, sat out a year.
Right.
And
That's
we're the only
right.
team, sat out a year at Chattanooga to stay with us, our staff. So, he's done everything for me personally, but also for Chattanooga, and he's beloved. So, but it's just this new day and age. So, and the NIT, the excitement of it, again, our fans going out there, and recruiting wise, like we were able to get it done a little bit quicker than previous years. Part of which the attention, you're on TV, and multiple recruits dialed into it and said, "Hey, we saw you play," which really helped things.
Quick story before we were watching the NIT championship game at the pump party in San Antonio. Me, John Fanta, and Kiley.
Yeah, Tom Kiley.
And Tom Kiley, who used to work for him. And Fanta's calling the game as if he's there.
He does that. He does that all the time. If you sit next to him and there's another game on, he turns in a fan of the announcer and just starts calling it. No matter where he is.
He does a good job.
No matter where he is.
So it's great.
So, again, we talked about how you're losing almost everything. You do bring back a key player in Colin Mulholland, right, who's hopefully going to take a major jump this year, and he should.
Absolutely.
He should. The opportunity is right in front of him.
Yeah.
What have you kind of challenged him with in the offseason that now, hey, man, like, you got to grow up quickly?
That's right. He super young player. I forget he's only a redshirt sophomore this year because he came in redshirt and then played last year. Was sitting behind Frank Champion a decent amount, but got some good playing time throughout the year. Super proud of him. Frank Champion, our starting center, went down going into the Southern Conference tournament like 2 days before, and Colin stepped up unbelievably well. Had multiple games in the tournament where he just played outstanding. The thing we're challenging him with is it's one thing to string together, 3 or 4 good games in a 5-game stretch. It's another thing to be high on the scouting report and bring it every day, So just being a leader, being tough, and maybe he gets doubled a little bit. Like that'll be the next thing, So an everyday guy at the top of the scouting report, and people might throw different things at you, and you have to adjust to that, So as an aside on his, you go through this transfer portal thing and everything, and we had to sit down. You sit down with every guy, and he's a wonderful young kid. But as we're talking, hey, are you coming back and not whatever, I said to him, like, hey, do you know how many threes you shot in the Southern Conference or the NIT championship win? He's like 16. I was like, no, 17.
Did he really?
Like, yeah, 17 threes. And I'm like,
way.
do you know how many coaches in America
are going to let you do that?
Let you do that? And
Zero. Well, one. Just you.
I go, yeah, one. Ours.
That's crazy.
Hopefully that helped a little bit. But UC Irvine does an unbelievable job defensively, but they played off him, and he was just teeing off on shots.
How many did he make?
We don't bring that up a lot. In Collins' defense, he made 5.
All right,
made a huge one
okay.
in overtime, but he started off
green light. The ultimate.
Green light.
You know who else had the green light? This guy next to you.
Yeah, no doubt.
He had the green light.
Once upon a time.
What's the most threes you ever shot in a game, Theo?
It's up in that. No, I don't know.
range?
I don't know the attempts. I know the makes.
Yeah.
I think I hit 11 or 12 one game.
I tried to recruit you back in the day. I was at Penn State.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Now that you say that,
He wasn't going all the way up there.
Right. No doubt.
Well, I knew because of the Crispin brothers.
Yeah.
That's kind of the deal.
That's right.
All right. So last night we're talking, and we've talked to Sanford, VMI, Citadel, Division II transfers up. It seems to be a recurring theme in this league, and guys have had success in this league. But when we were talking last night, the name Jakari Johnson got brought up from Trevecca Nazarene in Nashville. Averaged 20 points a game last year, or right at 21 points a game. What excites you about him coming into your program?
Yeah, no doubt. I think, like a lot of our guys, and what we try to do across the board is a high-character kid, number one. From a basketball standpoint, he's a live body, athletic vertically, and he can really shoot the ball. So, we, have something, see, share, shoot, which is kind of one of our mottos, if you will, or themes. I'm bad at that. It sounds like seashells, she shells out the sea, one of those tongue twisters. But he's a good basketball player. He can certainly shoot the ball. And among a bunch of different guys that we're bringing in, 6 transfers and 3 freshmen, but excited about him. Oddly enough, he played for one of our former coaches, Kevin Carroll, who was with me at VMI, was at Trevecca. You do the timeline. Kevin is at Trevecca Nazarene, gets the Lipscomb job when Lenny Acuff, which I'm not too thrilled about that because Lenny.
No, we were just talking about
we were
that.
saying
Unbelievable coach.
People love you as a guy, but they don't want you in the league.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right?
I had to send him a text because he's a wonderful human being and great coach. But I'm like, hey, congratulations, and I'm so upset that you're in the league. But anyway, Kevin Carroll gets the Lipscomb job, and Kevin didn't try to take Jakari back, if you will, right? So he just played for him, and I thought that was just said something about Kevin Carroll as a human being and Jakari. He committed to us and stayed with us. So excited about him.
All right, so I have a ton of dirt on this guy.
Yeah,
we could do a whole segment. We could do a half an hour on just
basketball specific.
No. We're gonna veer off.
Not once.
We're gonna veer off here a little bit. So the first thing I was told is that you proclaim that you've only shot 2 air balls in your entire life. I call BS on this.
Yeah.
All right, there's no way. With all the shots, with all the shots you've taken.
Yeah.
What are the 2 air balls?
No, I say 4, and 2 of them were at the Jersey Shore with the wind blowing at like 50 miles an hour. So, yeah, it's total BS. Thank you for.
I exposed you. Okay,
you absolutely.
So now when you say it, everybody knows.
Yeah. We take shooting seriously and as a level of toughness, and we're at drills, and guys, it's sometimes as a shooter. Oh no, you don't.
I do not know. No, I don't know that. I'm not in that group.
No, don't worry about that.
No, but like some guys will go airball a shot, or miss the rim by 3 feet. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that would be me.
Not taking it seriously enough. So I'm like, I've airball. I go around 4 times in my life, and 2 are at the Jersey Shore. So. Not true if you're calling me.
Well, when Doster shoots threes, he shoots them, and before it leaves his hand, he says off left, and it just takes off the wrong way.
There you go.
So,
all right, I got a couple more quick things.
Let's go.
A couple more quick things here before he's like, when's this over? When is this over?
Worried about what's going to come
All right, tell me about the time that you left your light on in your brother Brian's 1974 sky blue Cadillac Coupe de Ville back when you were in high school.
Wow. That is, yeah. I would imagine that.
Do you remember this?
I vaguely remember, but not well enough. But I would imagine that
he was
the car
pissed
didn't start.
Yeah.
and I would probably blamed him, and then it ended up being.
He said you almost missed the game.
Yeah.
He said you almost missed the
I'm gonna
game.
have to call my brother and ask him exact details.
I don't think
now,
it was
that
good.
was my car, actually, but I probably
it's your car.
him, and it was my fault or something like that, so, yeah.
Is there a head coach that you cannot beat in tennis in the country? Is there anybody in this country that you cannot beat in tennis?
Yeah, see, we say, outwardly, I try to be very humble and everything. So,
but behind the
you
scenes,
must be talking to my staff, because I go around the staff, closed doors. I'm like, I'll kill anybody, whatever, So I'm sure there are multiple coaches. We may have talked about this before, but Mitch Henderson at Princeton plays a lot of tennis, and he's, I think, pretty good. But I would.
I told you, we got to get you pickleball. We got to get you on that pickleball court.
I want to do the pickleball.
You still haven't played?
But I play here. You mentioned it. Well, we didn't make the Final Four this year because we were playing in the NIT, or whatever. But don't you do something out there?
We're going to try this year.
Yeah.
We're going to try.
Get on board. Absolutely.
I think you'd be pretty good.
Well, he plays in a 48 and over softball league.
That's right. Hit my first homer yesterday.
Go easy on the age thing, all right?
48. They moved it down to 48 to recruit better young talent like me.
It's all calculated.
I'm 54. Right? I would have passed the 50 plus. It didn't matter.
That's right.
48 and over. I can't believe that number.
Yeah. How do you arbitrarily?
I don't know. They had to lower it. They weren't getting enough 50 plus.
You had a ringer that you were.
I'm the ringer. I guess I'm the ringer, but I'm not. Give me somebody on this team that we don't know about yet, because you guys do have a lot of new guys, including one coming over from the Ohio Valley who had a pretty good year last year.
Yeah. Teddy Washington that played at SEMO, I think a really good basketball player. Can defend better than we've had some. We haven't had as many defensive guys as we need, so I think you'll see good things out of him. Jordan Frison is a young man from Memphis that played at Pittsburgh State, and I could go on and on. I don't want to leave guys out, but I think those two guys in the backcourt certainly, and some other guys. Billy Smith can make some shots. A variety of different things. So. Yeah, again, the challenge is I like our talent level. I like the character of our guys. They're playing unselfishly. In this day and age where it's like, all about me, can I get my stats so I can move on? We got really good guys, but it's going to take time to get them on the same page and playing Chattanooga basketball.
Well, offensively last season, 59% from 2, 40% from 3.
Man.
And you got all new guys.
Yeah.
And you got to find out a way to get them to share it the same way.
That's the thing, yeah. And from top to bottom, I like our chances at shooting a decent percentage from 3. Like, we have a decent amount of shooters, but we really passed the ball well last year. And that sounds like silly, like coaches are passing the ball. Who cares?
It's huge.
And that allows you to get open shots, So we had a young man, Garrison Kiesler, who had, I think it was a 5.62 to 1 assist-to-turnover ratio, which led the nation, and I believe all time for...
That's an insane number.
Unbelievable. Like, he just took care of the ball and threw the ball to the open man, but also could... So our passing this year is going to be interesting. I don't know if it's at the level it was last year, so I'm hoping we can still make shots.
Passer makes a shooter.
That's right.
Give me... You're a pretty smart dude, and you follow everything. I mean, that's the
smart, or
fairly smart. Fairly smart. I don't want to overstate it here, but fairly smart. We'll go with that. If I said you're running college basketball and you can change one thing, what are you changing?
I think right now, just trying to get rules in place that would stick, everyone would abide by, or we knew what was going on, right? Yeah. And that's not to cast blame on everyone, because I don't know enough of the legal things behind it. But do you need collective bargaining for these to be upheld? It just seems like we're kicking the can down the road, trying to get a rule in, and then it's not going to be upheld, and we're just doing it further. So, Matt Painter was speaking recently, and he's trying to explain, he's got X amount of dollars for his budget. He knows competitors are offering an incoming freshman, whatever it is, $1 million, and he's like, how does that add up when I only have X amount?
3.5 or 4.
Yeah, right. And he's like, it's not making sense. Well, so long story short, you're trying to make decisions in an industry or business or however you want to define it when you don't know the rules, what's going on, and again, it's I don't know if I have the answers to that, because I don't know what's legal or not, but we need to get some rules that everyone understands.
Well, even as much as right now, there might be a rule coming in. I'm sure you're aware and you're thinking, because I've gotten a million calls on this 5-year eligibility rule.
No doubt.
They're talking about it. We don't know if it's going to pass, number one.
That's right.
And when it's going to pass, so you don't know how to look at your roster going forward and how to make some of these recruiting decisions.
Right. Like, so, we just mentioned Colin Mulholland. Sean Cusano is another young man we have that both redshirted.
Right.
So now you don't know whether redshirt, because if it does pass, is it going to be retroactive?
Grandfathered in or not?
Grandfathered in, or how's it work? So again, you're trying to make decisions. And, along those lines, I don't know that I should say this, but what I worry about is like, who arbitrarily saying, okay, 5 years? What happens when someone goes, hey, I want to play 6 years?
100%. Are they going to fight it?
Are they going to fight it? Like,
Are they going to sue them? And
10 years.
Right.
And until we...
LeBron put out didn't he put out a tweet, or somebody said something?
He wants to play college
I was like, well, what would prohibit LeBron for coming back next year and wanting to play with his son Bryce at Arizona?
That's right. Yeah,
I mean, I guess obviously he's been a pro, but if he sues the NCAA, like, they lose every lawsuit.
No doubt.
Who knows?
It seems so crazy when you put it, and everyone's like, no. But
it sounds insane.
From a legal standpoint,
correct.
I don't know. I don't know how this whole thing's working. I just wish we could, again, get those rules in place. So then you could make decisions that, for each program that make sense.
Yeah.
But we don't know the rules that are going on.
What about an on-court one? Give me an on-court one. As a former player.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Is there something,
I like the challenge rule that they've put into effect this year, kind of speed up the end of the game.
Oh, yeah.
To me,
one challenge.
The one challenge, you get it right, you get another one.
That's right, yeah.
And then, because I feel like we're going to the monitors at the last 2 minutes of every game.
It slows everything up,
does.
So I agree with you. I like that rule a lot. I'm trying to think of anything else. We talk a lot about the advancement of the ball.
You like that or no?
You know what? Not necessarily. Like,
I don't either.
But
I don't
know
either.
Why? I can't tell you why necessarily.
Because everybody says, well, it's great if you do it. Obviously, you're going to have more great plays at the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
I understand that, but it's also like, well, that's where the ball went out of bounds. Why are we advancing?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, or off a timeout, off a rebound, or whatever.
Right.
And you can advance. So because the NBA does it, I think they do it overseas. Obviously, the women's game advances. So I haven't thought about it enough. I'm worried about some other things, fundraising and how to get our team on the same page. But I don't know that I like that one actually. But I do like the replay one that we have. So
what about going to quarters?
I don't mind that. I haven't thought about that enough as well, but it
You're
seems
essentially
to
just
me
taking
that,
away a timeout.
Yeah, right.
That's essentially all that's happening.
And to me, again, everybody else does it that way.
That's why. For consistency reasons.
Yeah, right.
That's why I would do it, just to have it across the board.
No doubt.
And to reset the fouls.
Right.
Reset the foul from
the foul count, the team foul count.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to me, I would be okay with it from that point of view, but at the same time, I don't mind 20 minutes. I think it makes the game unique.
Yeah.
But
so last thing,
so many opinions.
Last thing, since we kind of started on this. Happy or upset that you're picked first in the preseason, or don't care at all?
Don't care. I think you, as a coach, just full disclosure, you're always trying to push buttons of your guys, right? So
but isn't it harder to push these buttons if you're picked first?
I don't know that we've ever been picked first. So
especially a group that really didn't play into last year's success.
That's what's so hard. I mean, we're all. I mean, so I don't put much stock into it.
I feel like it's just picking names out of a hat.
No doubt. Because. Again, I'm stating the obvious, but years ago, you return, 10 of your 13 guys, and people know what they have returning.
100%.
Now, I mean, truth be told, we're looking for all league players too, and you have to vote for preseason.
There's nobody.
I don't know who these
Ricky
guys
Bradley.
Are, you know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, Ricky Bradley.
He's the only one coming back.
Good player, you know. So
14 out of
Cooper
15
Bowser,
is,
I know some of the guys, but it's not like. So my hope is that everybody else lost a ton of guys too. Like I said to you,
it's going to be wide open. I think it's
so.
Number one, probably wide open, and there's just so many questions with everybody. Nobody knows each other's team, like you're saying.
Absolutely.
So it kind of makes it fun, in a way. Probably tough for you in the off season, but then I assume your assistants or other people are telling you, "Hey, coach, everybody's going through the same thing we are."
That's
right
what they
now,
try because we all worry and
of course.
Whatever, but so the assistants try to help you there. So, but and it's so much of it. I mean, certainly you need the talent, but it's getting them on the same page and having them play as a unit, and that takes time.
Doing it quickly.
Doing
if you can do it quicker than everybody else,
absolutely.
That's almost like it's a talent these days. As a staff, if you can hire guys guys, it used to be, right, you'd hire recruiters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I think as much as anything, you're hiring guys like, can you help develop these guys, get them to play together, and you have 8 months with them.
No doubt.
And then hopefully maybe you have another 8 months with them.
Yeah.
But
if you can keep them.
Right.
So,
I mean, you're
That's
a big
is,
if.
you know.
You're anticipating, I assume, everything's a one-year deal.
And a lot of these topics you're bringing up, it's like, I question myself all the time. How much is it just because this is what we're used to versus it's not the best thing for the game right now? I don't love all this. I mean, I think I should be able to transfer and make money or whatever, but not having the rules is the biggest thing. But I go back to, played overseas for a while, whatever, and they dealt with that all the time.
All the
just
time.
have a new. So I'm like, wait, why is it different for us?
Just the way it's been.
Whatever, but it's the way it's been, So, but again, we need some standardized rules so you can make decisions. And I still, like building a program if we can, So
I think everybody does.
Yeah,
Everybody does if they can do it. It's just you can't always do it that way.
Yeah.
All right, Dan Earl.
Appreciate it.
Good seeing you, as always.
On me, so
no,
I was worried about the stories coming out.
We'll get next year. I'll dig a little deeper.
That's right.
I'll dig a little. I think your brother was nice to you this year.
Yeah.
He knows we're doing his media day later on.
Okay.
So I think
you'll
he
be
knew.
asking me, so I'll come up with some good.
I think he was like, if I get him to go back to really the things he did, to get in trouble with your parents, he's going to come back even worse.
That's right.
All right. Dan Earl, Chattanooga head coach, picked first in the preseason, and we'll come back